For decades, you've been operating with a psychological map of the world that's incomplete, a map that shows you the highways but not the back roads, the cities but not the power grids that truly make them run. This missing data is the difference between being moved by the world and learning how to navigate it with precision. What you're about to learn isn't taught in any formal education. It's a curriculum written in the subtle cues of a negotiation, the unspoken hierarchies of a social group, and the quiet resilience of individuals who seem to bend reality to their will without ever appearing to force it. This is the study of applied strategic psychology, a framework for understanding the invisible architecture of influence, power, and perception. My goal today is not to make you cynical, but to make you comprehensively aware, to move you from a position of passive reaction to one of conscious, calibrated action. This intelligence is neutral, like a scalpel. It can be used to heal or to harm. Our covenant from this moment forward is that you will use it to heal, to build, and to protect, to fortify your own position so securely that you can then extend strength to others. This is about developing an unshakable inner citadel. If you are ready to upgrade your mental operating system, type upgrade in the comments. This tells me you're committed to the depth this journey requires. Pillar 1, the principle of intentional opacity. We live in the age of exposure. Social media, personal branding, and a culture of confessional transparency have convinced us that to be authentic is to be an open book. This is a profound strategic error. When you are completely legible, you become predictable. When you are predictable, you can be managed, anticipated, and easily circumvented. The first pillar of strategic awareness is the deliberate cultivation of thoughtful ambiguity. This is not about being dishonest or creating a false persona. It is about understanding that your internal world, your true motivations, your deepest assessments, your evolving strategies is sacred ground. Not everyone earns a visa to visit. By practicing intentional opacity, you create a psychological space around you. People are forced to engage with the version of you that you choose to present, while being aware that deeper currents exist beneath the calm surface. This triggers a fundamental human response, respect born of mystery. Consider a practical application. You're in a business meeting and a colleague probes for your opinion on a controversial new policy. The amateur reveals their full hand, expressing support or opposition with emotional clarity. The strategist might say, "I'm observing how the initial phases play out. There are interesting implications on both sides." Then they might ask, "What's your primary concern with it?" This does several things. It deflects the probe, it reframes you as an observer rather than a partisan, and it turns the energy back onto the questioner, often causing them to reveal their own position more fully. You are practicing information jujitsu, using their force of inquiry to learn more about them. Your words become fewer, but denser with meaning. In personal life, it means not chronicling your every struggle and triumph. It means allowing your successes to be discovered, not announced. It means your vulnerabilities are shared as gifts of trust, not broadcast as bids for sympathy. This controlled disclosure makes your genuine moments of openness exponentially more powerful because they are rare and earned. You transition from being an oversharer, easily categorized and dismissed, to being a person of depth whose full dimensions are appreciated over time. Pillar 2, the Doctrine of Contextual Self. The mantra, "Just be yourself," is perhaps the most well-intentioned yet disastrously incomplete piece of advice ever given. It assumes you are a monolithic, static entity, a stone statue to be placed in every garden, In reality, you are a complex ecosystem. The strategically aware individual understands they possess a contextual self. You are not being fake, you are practicing situational fluency. Your core values and integrity are your bedrock, immutable and strong. But your expression, your communication style, your emphasis, these are the languages you speak. You would not speak Finnish to someone who only understands Mandarin and expect a deep connection. Similarly, you must not communicate solely in your native emotional or intellectual language to someone who processes the world differently. This requires you to become a keen student of human typology. Is the person you're engaging with a sensor who needs concrete details and practical steps? Speak in specifics, in timelines, in tangible outcomes. Are they an intuitor who thrives on patterns, possibilities, and the big picture? Paint visions, discuss implications, and explore concepts. Are they feeling-centric, making decisions based on values and team harmony? Connect to the human impact, the shared mission, the collective good. Are they thinking-centric, prioritizing logic, efficiency, and objectivity, present data, frameworks, and cost-benefit analyses? This is high-resolution empathy. It is the work of truly seeing someone and choosing to build a bridge from their shore to yours. The greatest leaders, negotiators, and healers do this instinctively. They make the other person feel profoundly understood because they are communicating in the other person's mother tongue of cognition. The power here is that you remain authentic to your core, the why behind your actions, while being adaptively brilliant in your how. You are not a chameleon changing colors to hide. You are a diamond, revealing different facets to reflect light in the most effective way for the situation. Mastering this turns you into a universal adapter, capable of creating rapport and trust with a vastly wider array of people, not by compromising yourself, but by expanding your communicative range. Pillar 3, the foundation of non-attached investment. Most people live their lives as emotional and psychological shareholders in external entities. They own stock in their job title, in a specific relationship status, in a particular vision of the future. When the market of life fluctuates, a layoff, a breakup, a failed plan, their entire sense of worth crashes. Strategic awareness involves shifting from being a shareholder in externals to being the founder and CEO of your own internal worth. This is the foundation of non-attached investment. It means you invest your energy, your effort, and your care deeply, but you do not tether your identity or fundamental security to the outcome. You can work passionately for a promotion while knowing your value is not contingent on receiving it. You can love someone profoundly while understanding your wholeness does not depend on their presence. This is the birthplace of true confidence and unshakable leverage. Let's examine the mechanics. When you negotiate from a place of non-attachment, you are free to walk away. This freedom is not indifference, it is power. The party who can walk away without self-annihilation always holds the stronger position. In conflict, when you are not attached to being seen as the good guy or the winner, you can focus solely on resolving the issue. This detachment from ego allows for clear, solution-oriented thinking. How do you build this foundation? Start by conducting an internal audit. What are you secretly afraid of losing? Is it a certain social status, the approval of a specific person, a particular lifestyle? Identify these attachments. Then, consciously practice the mental exercise of imagining life without them, not as a catastrophe, but as a different, yet still viable and valuable path. Visualize yourself still being competent, still having worth, still finding purpose. This mental rehearsing builds psychological muscle. It creates a buffer between an event and your reaction. When a threat to an attachment arises, instead of panic, you experience a calm assessment. This is undesirable, but it is not fatal to my core self. This inner stance is immediately perceptible to others. It reads as strength, as dignity, as composure. People will instinctively defer to it, negotiate with it more fairly, and hesitate to try to manipulate it. You become a stable node in a chaotic network, and stability attracts resources, trust, and opportunity. Pillar 4. The Methodology of Latent Force. Western culture venerates the loudest voice in the room. We mistake volume for authority and declarative statements for conviction. But in nature, the most powerful forces are often silent. Gravity, tectonic pressure, the growth of a redwood. The fourth pillar is the methodology of latent force, the cultivation of influence that is felt in its effects, not heard in its pronouncements. This is influence built on substance, reputation, and poised readiness, not on proclamation. It is the antithesis of hype. How is this built? Through consistent, demonstrable competence that becomes your reputation, through the patient accumulation of social capital, by doing favors, providing value, and connecting people without immediately demanding a return, through developing skills so potent that you become the silent standard in your field. This force is latent because it does not need to be constantly activated to prove its existence. Everyone knows the capability is there, resting. This creates a profound psychological effect. In a meeting, the person with latent force may speak less, but when they do, the room leans in. Their silence is not perceived as absence, but as a reserve of power. In a crisis, they are the first person others look to, not because they are demanding attention, but because their history of calm capability has designated them as a natural pillar. This methodology requires immense patience and the postponement of ego gratification. You are building a legacy, not chasing a headline. You are investing in the long-term equity of your character and skill. The execution involves a concept called action over announcement. Instead of telling everyone about the course you're taking, complete it and let the certification on the wall speak for itself. Instead of announcing your new business strategy, implement it and let the results generate the buzz. Latent force also involves strategic silence, especially in the face of provocation or gossip. By not engaging in petty conflicts, you deny them energy and you elevate your position above the fray. Your refusal to play certain games is, in itself, a powerful move. Ethically, this force must be coupled with benevolence. Your latent capability should be a shield for your team, a foundation for your family, a resource for your community. Used this way, you become a quiet keystone. Remove you, and the entire structure feels less stable. That is the ultimate position of unassailable, yet peaceful strength. Pillar 5. The discipline of reflective listening. Communication is not a ping-pong game of statements and replies. For the strategically aware, it is an archaeological dig. Every sentence spoken by another person is a top-layer artifact. Beneath it lie strata of motivation, fear, desire, and unmet need. The discipline of reflective listening is your tool for this excavation. Most people listen with the intent to respond, already formulating their next point while the other person is still talking. The reflective listener silences that inner monologue. Their sole focus is to understand the worldview from which the other person is speaking. The technique is deceptively simple, yet radically transformative. You listen. Then you reflect back the emotional and thematic essence of what you heard, not just the factual content. Someone says, My boss dumped another huge project on me at 5 p.m. on Friday. The surface level response is logistical. That's terrible. Can you delegate any of it? The reflective response targets the underlying stratum. It sounds like you're feeling deeply disrespected, like your personal time isn't valued, or that seems to be a pattern of last-minute demands that undermines your ability to plan. You are holding up a clean mirror to their emotional state. The effect is disarming and powerful. The other person feels seen at a level deeper than the problem itself. This validation often dissolves defensiveness and opens the door to genuine problem solving and connection. Once you have accurately identified the core driver, be it a need for respect, autonomy, security, or significance, you can now communicate your needs or proposals in a language that speaks directly to that driver. You frame your idea not as what I want, but as a way to achieve the respect/autonomy, security you value. You are aligning your vector with theirs, making collaboration the natural outcome. This discipline turns potential adversaries into allies and superficial conversations into bonds of trust. It is the most potent tool for de-escalating conflict, building rapport, and exercising influence that feels like genuine partnership, not persuasion. It requires you to manage your own ego, to prioritize understanding over being understood first. In doing so, you ultimately achieve a far deeper level of being understood. Pillar 6, the Framework of Nuanced Ethics. Binary morality is a child's model of the world. Characters are good or evil. Actions are right or wrong. The adult world, the strategic world, operates in a spectrum of gray. The Framework of Nuanced Ethics is your guide for navigating this spectrum without losing your moral compass. It is the understanding that sometimes the most ethical choice is not between good and evil, but between a greater good and a lesser good, or between two necessary harms. It moves you from virtue signaling, doing what looks most righteous, to virtue achievement, doing what actually creates the best possible outcome. This framework rests on two pillars: immutable principles and situational judgment. Your immutable principles are your non-negotiables, the lines you will never cross. Examples might be, I will not lie to inflict harm. I will not sacrifice an individual's well-being for pure profit. Or I will take responsibility for my actions. These are your ethical bedrock. Situational judgment is the wisdom to apply these principles within the messy context of reality. For instance, your principle may be honesty. In a sensitive situation, full, brutal honesty might cause unnecessary devastation. Nuanced ethics might guide you to be truthful but tactful, to disclose information with timing and care that considers the recipient's capacity to hear it. That is not dishonesty, it is ethical communication. Another example, a leader must cut costs. The nice action is across-the-board pay cuts, sharing the pain. The nuanced ethical action might be deeper cuts to underperforming divisions to protect the core, mission-critical teams, ensuring the company's survival and saving more jobs long-term. It appears harsher in a snapshot, but is more compassionate across the timeline. This framework demands tremendous personal responsibility. You cannot outsource these decisions to a simplistic rulebook. You must bear the weight of choosing, often with incomplete information, and you must be willing to justify your choice, not to public opinion, but to your own carefully considered principles. It protects you from both naive idealism, which fails in practice, and cynical opportunism, which abandons principle. It allows you to be effective in the world while remaining a person you recognize in the mirror. Pillar 7, the strategy of metered revelation. In the economy of personal capital, your story, your skills, and your past are forms of currency. Most people spend this currency impulsively, like a tourist with foreign cash, getting little in return for their profligate sharing. The strategically aware individual is a central banker. They practice the strategy of metered revelation, a calculated gradual release of personal capital to maximize its value and impact. The core insight is this: information revealed cannot be unrevealed, and its value is often dictated by scarcity and timing. When you declare your entire life story on a first date or in a job interview, you leave no mystery, nothing to be discovered. You become a solved puzzle. But when you reveal yourself in measured doses, you create a narrative of continuous discovery. People invest in narratives. They return for the next chapter. Apply this professionally. In a new role, don't demonstrate every skill you have in week 1. Allow your capabilities to unfold in response to challenges. This creates a powerful narrative of untapped potential and continuous growth, which is far more compelling and commanding of respect than the story of peaked early. In building relationships, allow trust to be the key that unlocks deeper levels of your history and vulnerability. This makes the sharing sacred, not trivial. This strategy also governs your digital footprint. Every tweet, post, and comment is a permanent droplet in the ocean of your online persona. Metered revelation means you are the curator of this gallery. You ask before posting, does this reveal add value to my narrative? Does it serve a strategic purpose, authority, showcasing a value? Or is it merely an emotional expenditure? This isn't about being inauthentic, it's about being intentional. You choose which true aspects of yourself to amplify publicly. The goal is to ensure that the public you is a purposeful distillation of the private you, not a random scattering of impulsive moments. This controlled narrative gives you agency over how you are perceived, allowing you to emphasize the facets most aligned with your goals, be they as a thoughtful professional, a creative force, or a reliable leader. Pillar 8, the obsession with terminal outcomes. The 8th and unifying pillar is the obsession with terminal outcomes. This is the ruthless prioritization of ends over means, of results over processes, of the destination over the drama of the journey. Most people get seduced by side quests, winning an argument, looking smart in a meeting, proving a point, adhering rigidly to a plan. The strategically aware individual has a singular focus, the terminal outcome, the concrete, measurable end state they desire. This obsession acts as a cognitive filter for every decision and action. In any situation, you learn to ask the clarifying drill-down questions. What is the true objective here? If I achieve X, what does that get me? And what does that get me? You drill down to the fundamental need. In a dispute, the surface objective might be to win. The terminal outcome might be a repaired relationship that allows for future collaboration, or clear boundaries that prevent future infringement. Once you define the terminal outcome, every action is evaluated by one criterion. Does this move me closer to that outcome? If yes, it's greenlit. If no, it's discarded, no matter how satisfying or traditional it might be. This often leads to counterintuitive behavior. It might mean conceding a point in an argument to preserve a relationship if the terminal outcome is the relationship. It might mean bypassing standard protocol to achieve a critical deadline if the terminal outcome is the deadline. It requires incredible emotional and ego discipline. You must be willing to look foolish in the short term if it serves the long-term goal. You must be willing to abandon a plan you're emotionally invested in if data shows it's not working. This outcome orientation fosters radical adaptability. You become agnostic to methods. You are a zealot only for results. This builds the most valuable reputation in any field, that of a closer, a problem solver, a person who gets things done. The critical, non-negotiable fusion is that your terminal outcome must be framed within your framework of nuanced ethics. A win that destroys your integrity or harms others is a Pyrrhic victory, a long-term loss. Your terminal outcomes must include the sustainability of the win and the health of your ecosystem. True success is a victory you can be proud of in the quiet of your own mind years later. These 8 pillars: intentional opacity, contextual self, non-attached investment, latent force, reflective listening, nuanced ethics, metered revelation, and outcome obsession, are not isolated tactics. They are interconnected components of a single, coherent philosophy, conscious engagement with a complex world. This is the anatomy of strategic awareness. Adopting this is not an event, it is a practice, a gradual rewiring. Do not attempt to install all 8 at once. You will short-circuit. The integration protocol is simple and deliberate. For the next 21 days, select one pillar. Let it be your theme. Study it. At the start of each day, remind yourself of its core principle. Then, go into your world and look for 3 small, low-stakes opportunities to apply it. It could be in a text message, a brief work interaction, a family conversation. Apply the principle. In the evening, conduct a brief review in your mind. What did you notice? How did it feel? What was the response? This 21-day cycle of focused practice on a single pillar allows the neural pathways to form, turning conscious effort into unconscious competence. After 21 days, you can choose to deepen that pillar or begin integrating a second. This knowledge is a form of power, and as the old axiom goes, with power comes responsibility. Your responsibility is to use this clarity not to diminish others, but to create circumstances where the best in them and in you can emerge. Use it to build fortresses of opportunity, not prisons of manipulation. The world has enough clever takers. It desperately needs conscious, capable builders. If this framework resonates with you, if you see the value in moving through life with this degree of intentionality and calm capability, I need you to take 3 actions. First, like this video. This tells YouTube's algorithm that long-form, in-depth psychological content has an audience, pushing it to others who need this understanding. Second, subscribe to the channel. This ensures you're notified when we release new content that builds upon these foundational ideas, diving deeper into the psychology of performance, influence, and self-mastery. Third, and most importantly, go to the comments. I want you to publicly declare your 21-day pillar. Write, my 21-day pillar is. This public commitment transforms passive consumption into active practice and connects you with a community of others on the same path of deliberate development. Your engagement is what allows this exploration to continue. Remember, the goal is not to become a character in a thriller. The goal is to become the author of your own life story, writing it with clarity, purpose, and an unshakable sense of agency. Until next time, practice awareness, cultivate calm,